The morning sunlight streams through the window as the bedside alarm clock rings. I slowly open my eyes and reach for the empty space beside me. Soon, Nathan will be back in this spot. The thought fills my heart with both anticipation and anxiety. It's been 3 years already, I whisper. My eyes linger on Nathan's smile in the family photo hanging on the wall. Back then, we had nothing to worry about. But now, I take a deep breath to shake off such concerns. I slip out of bed and head to my 17-year-old daughter Megan's room. I knock on the door and call out, "Megan, time to wake up." A drowsy response comes from inside, and I head downstairs to prepare breakfast. While cracking eggs in the kitchen, I organize today's schedule in my mind: work at the library, picking up Nathan in the evening. Just thinking about it makes my heart race. I hear Megan coming down the stairs, and I put on a smile. "Good morning, Megan. Did you sleep well?" "More or less," Megan replies, sitting at the table with sleepy eyes. As we eat breakfast, our usual conversation begins. "How's school? How's that assignment coming along?" Megan's face clouds slightly. "Not great, but I'm trying." "I see, I'm rooting for you," I say, while privately worrying about her recent behavior. She seems to be carrying some burden lately. "What about you, Mom? Are you enjoying your work at the library?" Megan asks. "Yes, it's fulfilling. I enjoy organizing the new books," I reply, realizing that the quiet time at the library has been preparing me mentally for the changes ahead in our lives. After Megan leaves for school, I think about Nathan while doing housework. 3 years of duty in Iraq. I can't even imagine what experiences he's been through. Images of war zones from TV and news flash through my mind, stirring up anxiety. In the afternoon, I pick up Megan, and we head to the airport together. In the car, I observe her mood. "Are you happy that Dad's coming home?" Megan thinks for a moment before answering. "Yes, I'm happy. But a bit nervous." Her words make me realize I feel the same way. I understand. Me too. At the airport, my heart pounds as we wait in the arrival lobby. When Nathan finally appears, time seems to stand still. He looks somewhat haggard, but smiles when he sees us. We embrace, celebrating our long-awaited reunion. But in that moment, I sense something off. Nathan's embrace feels slightly awkward, and there's something different about his eyes. An awkward silence fills the car on the way home. Nathan stares out the window, occasionally sighing deeply. Megan seems restless in the back seat. While driving, I keep thinking about how to break this silence. In the days after arriving home, I notice something's wrong with Nathan. He gets up in the middle of the night and sits alone in the living room. He's sensitive to slight noises, and sometimes stares into space with a distant look. One night, I researched PTSD on the internet. Reading the symptoms, I felt my chest tighten as I recognized many matching Nathan's behavior. Megan seems worried about her father too, talking to him more frequently than before. But Nathan's responses are minimal, and sometimes he shows irritation. I try to talk with him as a couple several times, but Nathan always deflects. "I'm fine, Layton. Just need to adjust to work, he says, but his eyes don't meet mine. As weeks pass, Nathan's suspicious behavior becomes more noticeable. Late-night phone calls, leaving without explanation more often. He'll say, "I have something to do," and leave, sometimes not returning for hours. Megan's attitude has changed too. She used to watch her father with concern, but now gives vague responses when asked about him. "Dad's fine, Mom." "Don't worry," Megan says, but her eyes seem to be hiding something. Every night, I lie awake. While waiting for Nathan's return, I stare out the window. Looking at the street lit by street lamps, anxiety grows within me. What will become of our family? Without finding an answer, another sleepless night passes. Late at night, I'm still awake again. Nathan is breathing steadily beside me, but even seeing him doesn't bring comfort. In the moonlight, his face seems to harbor unknown shadows. I slip out of bed and head to the living room. Standing by the window, I look down at the quiet nighttime street. In my mind, Nathan's recent behavior appears and disappears, the late-night calls, unnatural outings, and above all, those vacant eyes. Sitting on the sofa, I pick up our wedding photo. Nathan and I, smiling close together. Back then, I never imagined a day like this would come. Turning the page, I find a photo from when Megan was born. Nathan's proud expression as he holds the tiny baby. How did things end up like this? I ask the photo. No answer comes. Only a feeling of something tightening in my chest remains. As the sun begins to rise, I've made up my mind. To protect my family, I need to know the truth. Even if that truth might hurt us. At breakfast, I casually tell Nathan and Megan, "The library's closed today, so I'm going shopping for a while." Nathan nods indifferently, and Megan says, "Be careful." Her words sound oddly mature. I head to the electronics store. When I ask about small cameras, the clerk shows me various types. "This is our latest Wi-Fi model. You can monitor it real-time from your smartphone," he explains. Despite my hesitation, I purchase the camera. Back home, my hands shake as I open the box. Is this the right thing to do? But there's no turning back now. While Nathan and Megan are out, I install the camera on the living room bookshelf. The small black lens seems to stare at me, racked with guilt. That night, while Nathan is in the shower, I gather my courage and pick up his cell phone. My hands shake as I enter the password. The screen opens, and I check recent messages. There, I see a name, Walta. Apparently a 38-year-old woman. The message content is too intimate. "I'm glad we met today. When I'm with you, I can forget everything." Something crumbles inside my head. My heart races, and nausea wells up. I rush to the bathroom, trying to vomit though nothing comes out. My reflection in the mirror looks miserable and pitiful. A few days later, I notice something different about Megan when she returns from school. She stays in her room more and seems restless at meals. One night, passing by her room, I hear her talking quietly with someone. When I knock, there's a startled reaction from inside. "Megan, are you okay?" I call out. "I'm fine, Mom," she replies in a slightly high-pitched voice. In that moment, I realize Megan knows Nathan's secret too. Even my daughter is hiding something from me. This recognition tightens my chest further. And then that night came. After the family had gone to bed, I quietly went down to the living room. With trembling hands, I opened my laptop and accessed the camera feed. What I see on screen is unbelievable. Nathan in the living room. And unknown children. 4 children. And a woman who must be Walta. They're having a serious discussion about something. I stare intently at the footage. Tears roll down my cheeks. Is this Nathan's hidden truth? But why the children? Why Walta? Questions keep arising. Nathan's expression on camera is more alive than I've seen recently. Seeing that makes something creak inside me. My face reflected in the laptop screen. An expression mixing shock and sadness. And in my mind, these words echo. My husband had been different since he returned. The night I installed the camera, I witnessed something unexpected. At that moment, I knew that our family's life would change significantly from now on. And that we would need courage to face that change. Since watching the camera footage, my sleep has become even lighter. Though I hear Nathan's breathing beside me, seeing him no longer brings comfort. His face in the moonlight seems to harbor unknown shadows. I slip out of bed and head to the living room. Standing by the window, I look down at the quiet night street. In my mind, Nathan's recent behavior keeps appearing and disappearing. The late-night calls, unnatural outings, and above all, those hollow eyes. I sit on the sofa and pick up our wedding photo. Nathan and I smiling together. Back then, I never imagined a day like this would come. Turning the page, I find a photo from when Megan was born. Nathan's proud expression as he holds the tiny baby. Why did things end up like this? I ask the photo. No answer comes. Only a feeling of something tightening in my chest remains. As the sun begins to rise, I've made up my mind. To protect my family, I need to know the truth and take action. In the mirror, along with fatigue, I see determination in my face. At breakfast, Nathan and Megan act as usual. But I can sense a secret atmosphere flowing between them. I'm going to the library today, I tell Nathan. Okay, take care, he replies. Those words lack their former warmth. Arriving at the library, I can't concentrate at all. While organizing books, my mind is full of the scenes from the camera. Nathan, Walta, and the unknown children. I just can't understand what's happening. During break time, I talk to a colleague. Hey, if you needed to hire a private investigator for family issues, how would you go about it? She looks at me with surprise. Leighton, are you okay? Did something happen? Oh, no. Just an idea for a novel, I hastily cover up. She doesn't seem convinced but doesn't pursue it further. When I return home, Megan is shut in her room. While preparing dinner, I steel myself to confront my daughter. After finishing cleanup, I knock on Megan's door. Megan, I need to talk to you. The door opens, revealing Megan's guarded expression. As I enter the room, tension fills the air. Megan, do you know anything about what's going on with your father? I asked directly. Megan's eyes dart around. What do you mean? Your father's been acting strange lately. I thought you might know something. Megan's expression clouds over. I can see her struggling internally. Mom, Dad is a bit different. But isn't it just work stress or something? Is that really all? I press. Megan heaves a deep sigh. Mom, Dad is going through some things. But I don't know the details. I'm sorry. I can sense she can't say more. I hug her. Thank you, Megan. I'm sorry for worrying you. That weekend, when Nathan says, I have something to do, and prepares to leave, I say, I'm going shopping too, and follow him. My heart pounds as I tail him by car. In the city center, I almost lose him in the crowds a few times but manage to keep following. Finally, I witness him meeting Walter. They talk intimately before entering an old building. I sit frozen in my car, feeling a pain like my chest is being squeezed. A few days later, while shopping at the supermarket, I suddenly run into Walter. I quickly hide behind a shelf. She hasn't noticed me. She starts making a phone call. Yes, preparations for tomorrow's operation are ready. We must succeed in rescuing the children. At those words, something snaps inside me. Leaving my shopping basket behind, I rush out of the store. I make it to a nearby park and collapse onto a bench. In my mind, forgotten memories resurface. Images from over 10 years ago, when I worked for an international aid organization. Days spent trying to rescue children from conflict zones. And the memory of one failed operation. The image of a child being taken away before my eyes. The regret and guilt of not being able to help. These memories crash over me like waves. Why did I forget? I ask myself. I realize I had sealed away my past self in pursuit of a stable life. Back home, I stand before the mirror. The reflection shows not just an ordinary housewife who works at the library. I see my younger self, once burning with passion, overlapping with who I am now. Nathan's inexplicable behavior, Megan's changes, and my resurfaced past. All the pieces are starting to connect, though I still can't see the whole picture. What should I do? I ask my reflection. The answer hasn't come yet. But there's no going back. I must know the truth and take action. For my family, and for my nearly forgotten ideals. Determination settles in my eyes reflected in the mirror. The path ahead may be difficult. But I won't run away anymore. I've decided to reclaim my former self and move forward to protect my family. The next day, I head to the library with a different purpose in mind. While pretending to organize books, I start searching for materials about war orphans and international aid activities. Each time my fingers brush the spines of books, memories of my former self resurface. During lunch break, I sit at the computer away from others, continuing my search while remembering past activities. Photos of tragic situations on screen make my chest tighten. How could I forget such a world existed? I ask myself. Then I remember Aaron. A former colleague who should still be involved in aid work. I pick up my smartphone to contact him but hesitate. I lack the courage to face my past self. However, for my family and my nearly forgotten ideals, I make the decision. With trembling fingers, I dial Aaron's number. Hello, Aaron. It's Layton. Layton. I can't believe it. It's been so long. Yes, it really has. Could we meet? That weekend, I reunite with Aaron at a cafe downtown. His face shows the passage of time, but his eyes still have their old sparkle. So, what's up? Contacting me out of the blue, Aaron asks. I take a deep breath and begin. Do you remember that failed rescue operation? Aaron's expression darkens. Of course. How could I forget? After that, I stumble over my words. I understand. No wonder you quit, Aaron says gently. Fighting back tears, I explain the current situation. Nathan's changes, Walter's existence, and the children. Aaron listens seriously, then begins to speak. Actually, child trafficking is still a serious problem. Especially in conflict zones. Something moves inside me at his words. Aaron, is there anything I can do? First, learn the truth. Then start with what you can do. Back home, I begin organizing the information. Nathan's military duty, his current actions. Like arranging puzzle pieces, I compare everything. Late at night, after Nathan falls asleep, I approach his computer. After several attempts at the password, I finally log in. But I find only encrypted files. What is this? The next day, I knock on Megan's door. Megan, we need to talk. Megan looks at me warily. What? Taking a deep breath, I start talking about my past. About working in international aid, and the failed rescue operation. As I speak, I can see Megan's expression changing. Mom, I had no idea. Tears shine in Megan's eyes. Megan, what's really going on with your father? After a long silence, Megan slowly opens up. Dad is trying to help children. Children. Kids who lost their parents in war. Dad's struggling with PTSD, but helping these children seems to be healing him too. With her words, all the pieces seem to click into place. Why didn't you tell me? Dad didn't want to worry you. We hug and cry together. Let's help your father together, I say, and Megan nods firmly. That night, I wait for Nathan in the living room. I hear the door open and he enters, looking tired. Nathan, we need to talk, I say. He looks surprised. Layton, what's wrong? At this hour? I know your secret. The color drains from Nathan's face. What do you mean? About the children. About Walter. Everything. Nathan collapses into a chair. How? That's not important. Why didn't you tell me? Nathan covers his face with his hands. I didn't want to worry you. And I didn't want you to think I was weak. The PTSD. He looks at me with surprise. How? I could tell from watching you. But you're not weak at all. You're strong. Tears well up in Nathan's eyes. Leighton, I lost so much in the war zone. I saw war taking away children's smiles with my own eyes. Even after coming back, I can't get those images out of my head. That's why you're trying to help the children. Nathan nods. Walter, at first, she was comfort. But now, she's a partner in our activities. I take a deep breath. Nathan, let's solve this together. As a family. His expression softens at those words. Are you sure? It could be dangerous. As a family, we can overcome any difficulties. The next day, we hold a family meeting. The expressions of the three of us gathered in the living room mix tension and expectation. Nathan begins to speak. His duty in Iraq, the tragic situations he witnessed, and his post-return PTSD. Then, about meeting the war orphans one day. When I saw their eyes, I knew I had to do something. Meeting Walta, her aid organization, and how the rescue operations gradually grew. At first, I approached Walta seeking comfort. But now, these activities couldn't continue without her. Megan speaks through tears about noticing her father's changes and secretly beginning to help with the activities. I didn't want to worry you, Mom. I'm sorry. As I listen to them both, I feel my chest growing warm. You both did well. Then I reveal my own past. My work in international aid, the failed rescue operation. I had the same feelings as you. But I got scared and ran away. After all three family members' secrets are revealed, a deep silence fills the room. Surprisingly, it's Megan who breaks it. What do we do now? Nathan and I look at each other and smile. Together, we'll save the children. As a family. In that moment, I felt years of anxiety and doubt clearing away like fog. Many difficulties surely lie ahead. But now that our family is united, there's no wall we can't overcome. A new morning was about to begin. Silence fills the living room. The aftermath of Nathan's confession still vibrates in the air. The gazes of our family of three quietly intersect. I take a deep breath and open my mouth. Actually, I have something to tell you too. As Nathan and Megan watch me with surprised faces, I begin to tell my past. Working for an international aid organization over 10 years ago. Being involved in rescue operations for children in conflict zones. And that one failed operation. That day, a child was taken away right before my eyes. I couldn't help. My voice trembles. After that, I ran away from everything. I sealed away my past self, seeking a stable life. After my confession, silence returns to the room. But this time, the silence isn't heavy. It's filled with air of mutual understanding, trying to comprehend each other's inner feelings. Nathan quietly takes my hand. Leighton, I had no idea you carried such a past. Megan comes closer and embraces us. Mom, Dad, we really are family, aren't we? Tears well up. I've never felt such strong family bonds before. After a while, I say with determination, what should we do now? There must be something we can do. Nathan shows a confused expression. But it's dangerous. I can't involve you. No, I interrupt. If we work together as a family, we should be able to find safer and more legal methods. My past experience can help too. Nathan and Megan's eyes shine with surprise and emotion. Are you sure? Nathan asks. Of course. This will become our family's new mission. The three of us embrace tightly. In this moment, I feel years of anxiety and doubt dissipating, replaced by new hope. From the next day, we begin developing concrete action plans. Between my library work, I contact my old network. With Aaron's help, we start preparing to establish a legal aid organization. Nathan utilizes his military experience to provide security advice. He also talks with Walter, confirming that from now on, they'll cooperate purely as activity partners. Megan reaches out to her school friends, starting awareness activities for young people. Her drive is impressive. Several weeks later, we undertake our first rescue operation. The goal is to protect 2 children from a human trafficking organization. Amidst the tension, we each focus on our roles. I take overall command at Operation Headquarters. My past experience returns as cool judgment. Nathan leads the field team. His military training shines at crucial moments. Megan uses social media to gather and relay real-time information to us. The operation proceeds more smoothly than expected. Through communications, we hear Nathan's team protecting the children and moving them to a safe location. We did it! I exclaim involuntarily. Megan runs over and hugs me. That night, we meet the rescued children. Seeing their eyes filled with fear and anxiety, something moves within me. It's okay now. You're safe, I say gently. Over the next few months, our family throws ourselves into caring for the rescued children. Securing safe housing, psychological care, educational support. Though challenges pile up, the joy of solving them one by one is irreplaceable. Nathan's PTSD symptoms gradually ease. I can see his expression softening as he interacts with the children. The day he reported having his first morning without nightmares in a long time, I couldn't help but cry. I too face and overcome my past trauma. The memory of the failed rescue operation doesn't disappear, but now I can turn it into strength. I feel my new self growing stronger day by day. Megan's growth is remarkable. She actively speaks about international issues at school, becoming someone teachers and friends look up to. One night during family dinner, Megan suddenly announced, "Hey, I want to work for the UN in the future. I want to work protecting children's rights." Nathan and I exchange surprised looks, then break into broad smiles. "That's a wonderful dream, Megan. Go for it, you can definitely make it happen." Warm air fills the dining table. Outside the window, the sun sets beautifully. Another new morning awaits us. 1 year later, our aid organization has grown steadily, successfully rescuing many children and giving them opportunities for new lives. Nathan has almost overcome his PTSD and is vibrantly engaged in activities. I continue my library work while running around as a core member of the organization. Megan graduated high school and entered university to study international relations. One weekend, we hold a barbecue party in our garden. Rescued children, volunteer staff, and supporters gather. Laughter and conversation echo through the garden. I observe this scene from a slight distance. Nathan playing with the children, Megan enthusiastically explaining new support projects. Aaron stands beside me. Well done, Leighton. Your family is truly amazing. I smile. Thank you, Aaron. But this is just the beginning. At twilight, the three of us stand on a hilltop. Looking down at the sprawling city below, Nathan says, I can't believe it. Back then, I never imagined a day like this would come. I hold his hand. Yes. But here we are. Megan adds, and we'll always be together. The three of us stand arm in arm, watching the setting sun. Another new morning awaits us. And children who need to be saved. Our family's new chapter has just begun. We don't know what difficulties lie ahead. But one thing is certain. We are never alone. We'll walk forward together, as a family. That is the path we've chosen. And our new mission. The summer sun shines down on the garden on a weekend afternoon. Barbecue smoke rises, and laughter carries on the wind. 1 year since that day, this has become an annual tradition at our family home. Nathan rolls up his sleeves in front of the grill, focused on the cooking. His expression is bright, the dark shadows of the past gone. Having almost overcome his PTSD symptoms, he's now a central figure in our support activities. Megan enthusiastically discusses new support projects with her university friends. Studying international relations, she continues to grow daily. Her appearance no longer shows traces of a high school student, transformed into a reliable young woman. Children of various ages run around the garden. Many of them are children we rescued over this past year. Healing their wounded hearts wasn't easy, but now they're beginning to regain their smiles. I quietly observe this scene from a distance. Leighton, so this is where you were. I turn to find Walter standing there. Our relationship has become good now too. Yes, just taking a breather, I answer. This is all truly wonderful, Walter says. Thanks to you and Nathan. I shake my head. No, it's thanks to everyone. Including you. Walter smiles. True. But if you hadn't united your family, we wouldn't have come this far. Her words make me feel a bit embarrassed. Indeed, if I hadn't installed that camera and sought the truth then, we might not be here now. Hey, Walter, I ask. Are you happy? Walter thinks for a moment before answering. Yes, very. I've sorted out my relationship with Nathan, and more importantly, I can do this work of saving children. Her words bring relief. Nathan and Walter's relationship becoming purely cooperative was a major turning point for our family. Nathan's voice carries from afar. Hey, it's time to eat. We laugh as we join everyone's circle. After dinner, at twilight, our family of 3 stands on the hilltop. Looking down at the sprawling city below, Nathan says, I can't believe it. Back then, I never imagined a day like this would come. I hold his hand. Yes. But here we are. Megan adds, and we'll always be together. The 3 of us stand arm in arm, watching the setting sun. Behind us, the rescued children play with smiling faces. A narration flows in my mind. That day, when I installed the camera, I never could have imagined that this trial would strengthen our bonds even more and give us a new purpose in life. My face, lit by the setting sun, shows an expression of happiness and pride. Another new morning awaits us. And children who need to be saved. Our family's new chapter has just begun. We don't know what difficulties lie ahead. But one thing is certain. We are never alone. We'll walk forward together, as a family and as part of a larger circle of support. That is the path we've chosen. And our new mission. As the sun sinks below the horizon, our shadows stretch long. But these shadows are not dark ones. They mark the path to a future filled with hope.